When we think of good video, we think of Hollywood blockbusters with these incredible drone shots, or action-packed movies with these amazing crane shots, or maybe it's just a dramatic movie with this slow push in on a character. Either way, all of these camera movements made us pay attention more to the story. But not every camera movement is effective for every shot. That's why it's important to know when to move the camera and when to keep it still. Why would this shot work for this scene, but not work for this scene? Knowing when and where to move the camera is one of the most tricky parts to making a good video. But that's why today, I'm gonna help you understand the 6 most basic camera movements. As a video editor, I see this all the time. We think that a moving shot makes a video better, but that's not always the case. Sometimes a static shot is much more effective than any type of camera movement. That's why for anyone making a video, I think it's important to understand the basic camera movements and when and where to use them. Hey guys, what is up? I'm Kara, the creator of Round Our World, and welcome back to my channel, your place for video tips, storytelling techniques, and video marketing advice. First things first, what is a camera movement? A camera movement, by definition, is a filming technique that causes a change in the frame or perspective through moving the camera. This allows for the director or anyone making a video to shift the audience's attention without cutting. When used correctly, different types of camera movements can have a psychological and emotional effect on the audience that makes the video or film more engaging and more immersive. First up, the pan. Panning the camera just simply means swiveling the camera horizontally from one side to the other. This is a similar motion to turning your head. The base is fixed, so you're not physically picking up the camera and moving it, you're just changing the direction. This has become a very common type of camera movement, especially since we started using our iPhones to film everything. The pan is often used to establish a location, track movement, or elevate tension in a scene. But the speed of the pan is also important for understanding when and where to use this camera movement. If done with a lot of speed, it can add energy to a scene. But a slow pan gives us more time to see what else is happening in the scene, so it's better for dramatic moments. Number 2, the tilt. A camera tilt is just like the pan, except vertical. This is a camera technique where the camera stays in a fixed position and rotates up and down, similar to your head looking up and down. It's important to note that some of the most effective shots in cinematic history were made with a camera tilt. This type of movement is often used to give a character dominance or to reveal new information. A tilt also captures the verticality, which is great in moments of awe or spectacle, or just to redirect the audience's attention. Number 3, the zoom. The zoom is when you change the focal length to give the illusion of moving closer or farther away. This is by far the most used and overused camera movement out there. It is often used to draw attention to a specific detail, give a character dominance, or to simply emphasize a comedic or dramatic moment. Because this is such a widely used camera movement, I want to point out that generally speaking, a zoom is most effective when you can't even tell the camera is zooming. This means that a zoom is either so subtle and slow that you don't even notice that it's happening, or it's so fast that it seamlessly transitions into the next shot. This next eye movement is more known in the industry than to everyone else, but it can be very effective in the right moments and with the right equipment. Number 4, a dolly. The dolly shot is a smooth movement, usually done on a track, which moves the camera through space, giving it a different type of visual experience than the zoom or pan. There is a slight difference between a dolly shot and a zoom shot. A dolly shot physically moves the camera towards or away from the subject, while a zoom just merely changes the focal length. This type of camera movement is often used to emphasize dialogue, build up emotions, or for a moment of realization. This next type of movement doesn't physically move the camera at all. It just moves the lens. Which brings us to number 5, the rack focus. This type of movement changes the focus of the lens during a continuous shot. When a lens racks, it moves the focal plane from one object in the frame to another. This type of movement can include small or large changes to the focus of a shot. The more shallow the depth of field, the more noticeable the transition between focal planes. By racking focus, you bring something to the viewer's attention that would otherwise be lost if the entire shot was in focus. This type of camera movement is best used as a transition between scenes, following a character's train of thought, or to reveal something hidden. Last, but certainly not least, is the camera movement that doesn't move at all. All of the movement takes place within the frame. This is number 6, the static shot. A static camera shot is the most basic shot there is. And while moving the camera certainly makes for more dynamic visuals, knowing when to keep the camera still is very impactful. This type of shot can seem boring. I get it. There's no movement, and we're talking about camera movements. But does that mean that we should exclude it from this list and forget about it altogether? Absolutely not. On the contrary, some of the most iconic scenes in Hollywood are made with static shots. Hitchcock's shower scene in Psycho is comprised predominantly of static shots. While there is plenty of movement within the scene, the camera stays stationary. Even action films like James Bond utilizes a static shot from time to time. And that's because a static shot gives our eyes a rest. During these shots with big dramatic camera movements, our eyes are constantly trying to figure out what we're looking at. But a static shot gives them a rest and allows them to see what else is going on within the frame. These are all great camera movements to know. But what really makes a good video is knowing when and how to combine these shots effectively. When does a dolly combine with a zoom? When is a static shot interspliced with a pan? It's all about using movement to create the most engaging experience for the viewer. If you can combine all of these camera movements seamlessly, I promise you'll have everyone paying attention. And that's why it's important to understand camera movements and when and where to use them. So, the next time you go to film a video, I want you to ask yourself if this shot supports the story. Remember, the best shots, the best camera movements don't make you notice the movement at all, but rather forces you to pay attention to what's going on in the story. Please tell me in the comments below, what is your go-to camera movement? Do you always go handheld, or do you prefer a tripod? I'd love to know. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be back next time with another video, giving you all the best video tips, storytelling techniques, and video marketing advice.